1.20 is here with over 100 new features added to the game. Hello there, Ray here. Let's take a look at all of these in under 12 minutes. But before you update, let me remind you that there is a whole bunch of cool rares and discontinued items and mobs that you should collect before updating, which is in this video here, linked below. Archaeology is a big part of 1.20, and in order to do it, what you'll need to have is a archaeology brush, which you can craft up with a feather, copper, and stick. The brush can be used at archaeological sites, like one is hidden inside of the desert temple here, where back in the corner you see that there is some sand, and then you see there is some odd looking sand. This is actually a new block called suspicious sand, and by right clicking your brush onto it, you can reveal what is hidden inside. And digging downwards you can find more of this. Each of them will have a chance to give you some sort of loot. And there is 8 different things you can get out of these, including the new pottery shards. And obtaining pottery shards from brushing suspicious blocks will get you the respecting the remnants advancement. And by using these new pottery shards, you can craft yourself up a decorative pot. And depending on what type of images of the shards you put on which sides of the pot, when you have completely crafted it, will actually show up as those images, where the blank sides will be made out of brick. Making a decorative pot out of 4 pottery shards will get you the careful restoration advancement. You can break them down into their item, or if you use a pickaxe on them, you can actually break them into their materials. Archaeology can also be done at these desert wells, where if you look in the bottom of them, they have suspicious sand down here. And the wells have a different loot table, including different images of the pottery shards and even suspicious stews. While in the desert, look out for new desert villages, which have a brand new mob, and that is the camel. The player can ride them just by right clicking, but you can't control them until you open up the inventory and put on a saddle. Without having to tame them, you can actually control the camel, which is similar to a horse, how it can automatically walk up stuff, but it can actually walk up stuff that's 1.5 blocks tall, so it can walk right over fences. The camel actually has 2 different speeds. If you just push forward, you're walking, but you can also sprint with the camel just like you can with a player. And the spacebar can be used to have the camel dash, which will make it jump over a large distance. Camels can be tempted as well as bred by using just cactuses. And the camel can actually be rid by 2 different players. The first one will have control over it, or the second one will be riding in the back. And the cool thing is the camel is so tall that most hostile mobs can't even attack you. You can also do archaeology at these new runes, which are called trail runes. These structures can generate inside of the different types of taigas, jungles, and old growth birch forest. And these structures only have a little bit of them sticking out the top, with the majority of them hidden underground. And if you clear away all the dirt and gravel, there's actually these hidden cities under it. Speaking of the gravel, a lot of the gravel actually is suspicious gravel, which is like the sand where you can use your brush on it to get loot from within. In the trail runes, there is a rare chance of finding a unique disc. This is the relic disc, and like other music discs, it can be played with a jukebox and produces a very unique music. Suspicious gravels are unique where they can either be one that produces common loot, which is a wide variety of things, or rare loot, which includes more different images on pottery shards. Also at these runes, you can find a new item, the smithing template. Once you get a smithing template, you can use it with a smithing table here, put it in the first slot, and then you can put any type of armor piece as well as any type of ingot or crystal, which produces a trimmed variation of the helmet. So this was a gold helmet, and now it's a gold helmet which is trimmed with diamond in the shape of the smithing template, which in this case is the sharper design. These don't give any types of buff to armor, but allows you to get a wide range of different type of armor that's very unique. So even though you have armor that everyone else has in the game, you can make yours look special. And crafting a trimmed armor at a smithing template will get you the crafting a new look advancement. And if you're really into smithing templates, you can get this advancement here, where you have to get 8 different smithing templates and use them from a wide variety of structures. But once complete, you get the smithing with style advancement. But there is one type of armor trim that is the rarest, which I'll explain more in a future video. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I went through all the main combinations in this video here, so check it out if you're curious which one you want to go after. Each trim will give you a slightly different look on armor, and the images on these templates is what the armor will look like after it's trimmed. And 4 of the trims come from the trail runes, where the other 12 come from other structures throughout the world, including Jungle Temple, Ancient City, Woodland Mansion, End City, Bastion Remnants, Nether Fortress, Pillager Outpost, Desert Temple, and Shipwrecks. And you can get the last one from killing Elder Guardians. But there are more places where you can do archaeology, like here at the Cold Ocean Ruins. These are the ones made out of stone and have gravel floors, and you can find suspicious gravel here, where you can also use your brush on it to get unique loot, including more types of pottery shards. for a total of 4 more unique pottery shards, among this other loot that you can find. You can also take part in Archaeology with the warm ocean ruins, where they'll have suspicious sand, where you can use your brush on it to get the loot within. With the 5 archaeological structures, you can get all 20 different types of pottery shards, and every pottery shard has a unique image. And the warm ocean ruins provide similar loot as the cold ocean, with different types of pottery shards and one special item. And the special item is the Sniffer egg. Getting your first Sniffer egg will give you the advancement, Smells Interesting. You could then hatch out your Sniffer egg by placing it on a block, which will take 20 minutes to hatch, or by placing it on a moss block, it only takes 10. Over time, you'll get these cracks inside of it, showing that it's getting ready to hatch. And once a Sniffer hatches out, you get yourself a baby Sniffer. And feeding a Snifflet will get you the Little Sniffs advancement. This is a new mob for 1.20 and is the only way you can acquire it. Do this a second time and you get yourself 2 Sniffers. And if you wait 20 minutes, they will grow into adults. Sniffers do as their names say, they will go ahead and sniff out stuff that's inside the ground, which includes these new seeds. Either these pitcher pods, or they can dig up the torchflower seed. Getting at least 2 torchflower seeds, you can use them on the Sniffers to have them breed. And when they breed, they don't produce a baby Sniffer, but instead a Sniffer egg, which you can hatch to get more of them. The torchflower seeds can also be planted onto farm ground to get the advancement Planting the Past. And when you bone mill them up and break them off, they will give you the torchflower item. These can be planted as a nice little decoration. A similar thing can be done with the pitcher pod, which can be planted and produces this cool little pod in the ground. And it can grow through a couple different stages before it becomes an adult plant, or you can also harvest it to get a new item called the pitcher plant, which also looks really cool. Unlike other too tall flowers, you can't actually bone mill these to get more of the same item. Alternatively, you can turn them into orange dye or into cyan. But I made this farm here, which lets you get tons of these new seeds easily, and it even made an automatic farm, which will have the seeds automatically planted and grown up, converting them into lovely flowers. But those aren't the only flowers Minecraft added in 1.20. We also got pink petals as well as cherry blossom trees, all in this new biome, the cherry groves, which can be found at a similar location where you can find meadows. Pink petals are flowers that have 4 different sizes. You can get more just by bone milling the flowers or by bone milling the grass inside of a cherry grove. Besides their look, they can also be crafted down for pink dye. And I have 2 different designs of pink petal farms, this one with bone mill, and this one where you build in a cherry grove biome. You can get the cherry blossom tree just by breaking down some of the leaves until you get a sapling, which you can plant and then grow up with bone mills. You can get this tree wherever you want. The tree consists of this new cherry log, which can be crafted into all the different types of wood things except in cherry pink. So I designed this automatic cherry tree farm, which lets the player AFK and produces cherry trees, which all get automatically collected, providing tons of logs and sticks and saplings, so you always have enough pink planks to build whatever you want. But these trees also have these amazing cherry leaves. So I designed this second machine here, which will let the player get tons and tons of these amazing cool leaves, all while being AFK. But we got a second type of wood in 1.20. You first have to craft the bamboo blocks, and then those can be turned into planks. The planks can then be crafted into all the different wood stuff, including these new cool boats, which are actually called rafts, and the player sits up a little higher in them than they do a normal boat, which includes these mosaic variations, which can be crafted using slabs for both stairs and slab variations of those. So make sure you have one of my bamboo farms built up in your world so you can get tons of bamboo and wood automatically, as wood is needed in order to craft 1/5 of all items in the entire game. You might notice this sign here where it looks a bit different than a normal sign because these are actually hanging signs, and that is something new to 1.20. There is actually a new type of hanging sign for every single type of wood. To craft these, you don't use normal planks, but instead the stripped variations along with 2 chains to make 6 of them. This is what gives them their more solid look compared to their plank-like counterpart. And there's 3 different ways you can place these down. You can place them on a side of a block, which produces this little arm coming off them, or you can click underneath of a block, which has the chains dropping straight down, or you can shift click underneath to have the chains connect in the center. And signs in general got overhauled with 1.20, where you can right click into any sign and edit them by adding text. Not only can this be done on one side, you can actually come back and place the sign in and edit the back side to have its own text. So it can say something completely different than the front. But if you don't want anyone to ever edit your signs, you can always wax them and this will permanently keep them in their state. We get another new wood item with 1.20. That is the chiseled bookshelves, which can be crafted like this and produces one of them. And the chiseled bookshelves are used to store books, including normal books, your enchanted ones, book and quills, as well as books that you've already signed, and even the creative knowledge book can go inside them. You're also a redstone device, as you can have a comparator read their output. This will give you a brand new advancement, which is called the power of books. But when it comes to the comparator, unlike most containers, it's not actually telling you how many books are inside of it, but instead telling you which of these slots did you last interact with. So if I interact with the very first slot, which is the top left, it will say the first one, which will give a redstone signal of 1. Where if you interact with the last one, it's a redstone signal of 6. Another redstone device we got is this new type of skulk sensor. This is a calibrated skulk sensor and can be crafted using a sensor and some amethyst. And unlike a normal skulk sensor, which ends up hearing any type of vibration, we can actually calibrate this type using a redstone signal. We'll make the calibrated skulk sensor only listen for special things. This can be easily done with a book with 15 pages with a comparator pointing into the amethyst side. So with my handy book here, it tells me if I set it to this page here, the skulk sensor will only listen to if I place down a block. So if I jump, the other skulk sensor hears it, but not this one. Walking also doesn't hear it, but if I place down any type of block, it will then hear it. And unlike a normal skulk sensor, which can only hear vibrations up to 8 blocks away, a calibrated skulk sensor can listen twice as far, up to 16 meters away. Another new redstone feature for 1.20 Minecraft is you can place mob heads on top of note blocks, and when you power the note block, it will play the mob's noises. Zombies, creepers, skeleton, wither skeleton, dragon, but the creative only Steve head doesn't produce any noise. But you might know that we actually got a brand new mob head for 1.20 as well. This is the piglin head, which also produces a noise. To get it, you'll need to get a charged creeper like you do for the other mobs, and then you'll need to have a piglin get pushed over from the nether, and then light a charged creeper, and then when it blows up, it will actually drop the piglin head. And I even invented this cool automatic machine which lets you get the mob heads. So look forward to that video. Now start building all the new 1.20 automatic farms with this playlist here, so you can get the most out of this update. You can help me push the limits of Minecraft just by supporting me as little as $1 a month. And thanks to all my current tier supporters. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next one. Bye bye.